Hey, welcome to Greenlight. So today is Blu-ray Tuesday, so we're going to be talking about the major Blu-ray releases this week. There's some new things I'm going to be trying out when it comes to this episode and this channel, and I'm going to split up at least the two major ones, and that would be a video for Knives Out and Frozen 2. So the parts of those two movies that you see in this live stream, I will cut it up and make shorter versions and release it hopefully by tomorrow. So just kind of testing it out and seeing what I can do there. Currently watching quick shout outs to vidIQ. This is their channel audits. I'll link them in the description below. It's something that I highly recommend as any filmmaker to have this program, this tool in your Google Chrome for YouTube SEO, and it's for ranking and for doing even thumbnails and stuff like that. So they have like a quick Photoshop type thing. But if you're interested in that, just check in the description below of this video and I will do that. Also, let's get started right now. All right, welcome back. So as you see here, you can follow me on Instagram and we can talk about movies and any of the special features, because that's what we really focus on here, is special features and how some of the special features can help you as a filmmaker and what to expect from it as a filmmaker. So when you buy Knives Out or Frozen 2, what kind of things should I expect in the special features that can really benefit me as a micro-budget filmmaker, as a filmmaker as a whole, and what I can learn from it. Quick shout-outs to our giveaway for Glass. I gave away a movie code for free movie Glass, and this is something I do frequently. You gotta hit the notification bell so you can find out about them every time. I'm gonna give a quick shout out to 24 Anthony MO. That's his channel name, his YouTube channel name. And then on Instagram, they're Ice and Coco. Ice and Coco, which is like ICENCOCO, at ICENCOCO. So he won the Glass movie code, so go ahead and congratulate him as well. All right, so let's get started with the first movie. I'm really excited about this. So like I said before, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So you can find out about videos like this every week. And then we also do like Blender tutorials and mainly a lot of filmmaking stuff. So I do little Blender stuff. If you've heard of Blender, it's a 3D software, even has video editing in it, as well as many other things like motion tracking and stuff like that. Not to even say about like modeling, but we'll get into that another time. Let's see here. Let's put the first movie. So this is our first film that we're going to be doing today, and it's Knives Out, directed by Rian Johnson. I really highly enjoyed Last Jedi, even though that was publicized as like a horrible Star Wars movie. But I guess Rise of Skywalker pissed people off enough to even consider Knives Out as a great benefit in the Star Wars universe. He tried some new things, but I'm a huge fan of him as a filmmaker in general. Movies like Brick and The Brothers Bloom and many others. I really, really highly enjoy this film, and I truly recommend it. I also hear they're trying to make a couple sequels to this, maybe like a trilogy, all with Daniel Craig's character of this film. So if you haven't seen this film, this Oscar-nominated film and Golden Globe-nominated film, I forget if they even won anything. I'm not sure or not, but they probably did. Yeah, I think it was the co-star that won something. I believe. Let me know in the comments below if that's true or not. Well, the main, I think her name is Ana de Armas. So I think she won an award, either for the Golden Globes or for the Oscars. But let me know in the comments below and let's talk about that. Let's see here. So quick shout outs to Captain McWow. Captain_McWow on Instagram. I took his picture here, and this is the back end of the Best Buy Steelbook case of this. I couldn't find the 4K, backing to this, or like the back of what the front cover I just shown you. So this front cover right here, I'm going to show it right now. This front cover right here is not the right front cover for the backing I just showed you. But it's okay. I'm doing this on purpose because I do want to see what kind of special features we can expect from these Blu-rays, because that's really what we focus on. So I'm sorry for that, but I'm letting you know ahead of time. And now we're back here, and this is the back of the Steelbook case at Best Buy. And then I have a zoomed in version here as well. And this is from Tyler Mitchell. He's got a YouTube channel called Tyler Mitchell. And he has an unboxing of this film. And let me know in the comments below if you enjoy unboxings. Let me know, #unboxing in the comments, please. And let me know if you really thoroughly enjoy that, because I'd love to do that myself, and I want to see if you guys are still interested in something like that, and coming from me, on this channel. It seems like there's a lot of videos like that, so I don't like to jump on the bandwagons and things. I try to put my own creative spin on stuff. I guess Quentin Tarantino for YouTube, so to speak. So now I'm going to have the zoomed in version here, which is from Tyler Mitchell. I usually have him in the description below. I think I've had it for another video before, and I've credited him before, so at least once before. So check out his channel. He's got some cool videos, but we're going to get into the special features right now. So from what I see here, and from what I guess you're going to hear is the audio commentary with writer-director Rian Johnson. Kind of putting it out there, there's not a lot of original films out there, original screenplays being done, especially in Hollywood. They don't want to, they're basically banks right now, so they don't want to spend money in movies that don't have a built-in audience already. So half of the work is already done for them, basically. That's how they see it, instead of just making a really good film, much like this one. Okay, so this is the back end of the 4K version, so that's pretty cool. All right, so audio commentary with Rian Johnson and director Steve Yudin. I feel like I'm butchering that, and actor Noah Segan as well, and they're all commenting on the movie throughout the movie while you watch it. A lot of times those things are really cool because they give a little more tidbits and more specific situations that happen on set for certain scenes that they may have not covered in the making of, which is what I see here. The next thing we're going to get into. So commentaries are really good. A lot of they get a bad rep. There's a bunch of them on YouTube now, I've noticed. Martin Scorsese has one for Gangs in New York, and I listened to it as well. And, they just go on and about, certain scenes or the movie itself, and what not only what it means to them, but what they were doing at the meantime of making those films, which is good too. Just gives you a mindset of what the work is like and what the process is like all the way up into conception of your film. So that's why I talk about this a lot on these channels and this channel here. So let's see. The next thing is Making a Murder, a multi-part documentary. So they're going to have a play all option, which is great. And that's phenomenal. This is a Lionsgate releasing, and since they're very good at giving great special features, especially for a movie that's popular and did very, very well. They tend to like pack it with a lot. So expect maybe 30, 40 minutes here making a murder multi-part documentary. And by the way, I am definitely going to get this film. I'm such a fan of this film, and seeing here right now that there's making of a multi-part, and then I see ahead here's a featurette. I'm buying this. This is full up with special features, great original film, and I could benefit even myself off of this film like majorly. I usually don't geek out like that on these films as much as I am doing right now. I really obsessed with this. Last time I felt this way was with John Wick 3. I also geeked out big time on Glass as well. So check that out on this channel. It's in here. So check that out on like the playlist on the Blu-ray playlist. So the multi-part documentary. So Making a Murder. So this is very specific, and since they say multi-part, it's kind of like a thing throughout the movie where you see different point of views of this murder that took place the day of, and then you find out things as things progress. So great film and great writing. It's not like it hasn't been done before, but this is something you could benefit as a filmmaker and learn from it, and hopefully you can carry it on to your feature films. So that's what I think could end up happening. We're definitely going to be I think they're definitely going to be talking about here is the the writing of it, the writing aspect of it, the story, and how they were shooting everything. Another thing, I don't know if they'll explain it in here. I just wanted to put it out there. I heard it through a YouTuber. I forget where I heard it from, but I listen and I watch a lot of different things and podcasts as well. And they mentioned that, that's a great way to save money, because every actor in this film has a different day rate, which is like how much they cost daily on set for a full 8 hours, I think, on set. And each one of them, they're not all in the scene at the same time sometimes. And sometimes you don't have to pay for all of them to be there for certain shots, because certain scenes, they take place without like Daniel Craig, who probably has the most, probably cost the most in this whole film to be here, and he's solving this. So they probably shot a lot of his stuff within a day, because that's usually where it takes place in the movie anyways, at least in his part, trying to solve the murder within a day or two or so. So yeah, there's a lot of things like that, that you'll learn on this channel. And we'll be always talking about filmmaking stuff like that. So still on the Making a Murder multi-part documentary, I believe they could go into giving you your normal pre-production, production, and post-production type documentaries of this film. So it's great to learn, the core values and what makes a film. And you have to always have your pre-production, which is writing and prepping the film, meaning purchasing all your props and everything like that all ahead of time, and planning out your schedule too of filming your film, and then getting into production and actually fulfilling that and following your schedule and just going ham on just doing it without thinking about it so much. Sometimes I feel like I get an added benefit by not like thinking about it so much and just doing what's asked of me, of the script and my schedule, and using the props and using what I already have, and working with the actors and collaborating with them, and actually feeding off of their ideas in the scene and what they're planning on doing. That's what I usually like to ask them at first, like, what is it that you think about the scene? What is it about the scene that jumps out to you and makes the scene what the scene is? So, I ask them, and they always give me a different point of view, which is always good and a huge benefit when making feature film, especially your first feature film. So after that, I definitely believe it's going to be in the pre-production. And pre-production stage, they say it's like, it's always said that it's like another chance at recutting your script and having another draft of your screenplay. So there's that added benefit as well. And then I see the next thing we're going to jump down to is Rian Johnson planning the perfect murder, quote unquote, and then featurette. So I don't know how long this could be, but when they say those words, featurette, like that, and they give it such a hefty title like this, it's usually like almost an hour or more. It's a documentary. So multi-part documentary. Since they went on ahead and tell you that the other thing is a multi-part, it's definitely going to be probably shorter, 30 minutes each, and even shorter than that. It could be, it could be 10 to 20 minutes. Little short documentaries like that are on YouTube all the time. So this is how they kind of like order everything in the special features. So, and the next thing here is deleted scenes. So deleted scenes, I've said it numerous times before here, and it works great for screenwriters to see what ends up on the cutting room floor anyways, and what doesn't move a story forward. That's what I'm always saying. So, and more down here, and I see that could always be the same thing, stills and production photos, as well as, trailers, and maybe even a premiere or something like that. So many stars that I wouldn't be surprised that they have that. So let's check out the front of it, the artwork of this great looking Blu-ray. So this is, I think the steelbook case is only like the 4K because it has all of them included in it. So this is also the 4K cover of this. So let's put this up. There we go. All right. That back is awesome. The backing there with the house, that's beautiful. And then, and they have some clues on the actual discs themselves. It looks like a book because the person that is murdered, if you don't already know in the trailers, is basically a writer, a novelist. So that's really cool. And this is available at Best Buy. And then the next one here, which is going to be our last photo I'm going to show you for Knives Out, is the only at Target exclusive. So it comes with the book that they talk about in this movie, a book that he finished writing. So it actually gives it to you in Target, which is really cool. So I have more than one option, so I don't have to get the steelbook case. But that steelbook case looks so sweet. So yeah, big benefit there. So this is really cool. It comes with the book and everything. So let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this Knives Out video, and then and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification so you know more about videos like this. So we always talk about these Blu-ray features and stuff like that, and I love Knives Out. Rian Johnson is one of my favorites, as I already have said before. So, comment down below about this film. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you've seen this movie, are you excited about the special features and learning more about this movie? And are you excited about a sequel and as well as a whole trilogy? And what are your thoughts on that? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, so we're going to move on now to our next feature film. Our next one is Frozen 2, which is a movie I also seen actually with my wife, and pertaining back to Knives Out. My wife adores that movie. Thought it was such a good, so much fun to watch. And this movie was also surprisingly fun to watch. Even I've said it, I was just kind of watching it to see, what it would be, how different can they really make this from the first one. And it surprisingly, because I guess my expectations were really low. Lately I've been watching these 3D animated movies with a different because I've been kind of working on a free program called Blender, which I always have it linked in the bottom of every video because I'm a huge fan. I believe I also have vidIQ already in there. I could have it in there because I have mentioned that already in the front of this video. So I could have it in there already. I believe I always have like these free downloads in the bottom. So Frozen 2 was amazing. Well done story, and kind of moved the story a little bit more forward, and they had to tell this part of the story with Elsa, I believe it's Elsa, or basically with her frozen powers and all that stuff. So let's talk about the back end here. And this is also courtesy of another Instagrammer. I'm not sure whose Instagram this is exactly, but they posted the back part, and I really highly thank you, and I hope if you see your name here, thank you for that. And go thank this person for taking this picture as well, so we can talk about it here. And they have some special features. This is the back end of the Blu-ray, the Blu-ray 4K, I believe, of the Steelbook case at Best Buy. This is the back end of that, even though I showed you the 4K regular version of Frozen 2 in the front. Alright, let's zoom in. Some really cool stuff here. So Blu-ray, I mean, there's some stuff. This is like Disney sometimes to do this. I mean, they have outtakes, which I'm, usually going off of what a lot of the outtakes that you would see in what you call it, in Pixar movies are usually, I mean, they're usually made as an outtake for outtakes, if that makes sense to you. So they're basically pre-made and stuff like that. And it could be like actual mistakes while reading the script, because they record all the voices for the actors. And it could be like a true outtake then, and then they just animated it, into something so you can see it for the Blu-rays, which is really cool. And it's something that you don't normally see a lot, but they could do that here, or they could show you on set stuff, meaning in the recording booth and stuff like that. So, and then there's deleted scenes, and then obviously, like I've said before about deleted scenes are great for filmmakers to learn what doesn't move the story forward. And I say this a lot because it means what I said for every movie, because every movie is different. So you're learning how it works for each genre and each type of movie, and how they get around all that to move the story forward while they're editing, because that's when you can make your movie even better than you thought it was going to be, is by re-editing it and finding these a new look at the film, without certain scenes. So the next thing is deleted songs too. Again, just what I said here. You see, every film's different, and this is a musical. This film here has deleted songs, so deleted songs are the same thing like deleted scenes. Some of the songs just doesn't propel the movie forward to get you to the end of the movie, to feel satisfied of the film. So you can tell when they do this type of stuff, sometimes you can tell like the script was really dense, and they have a lot of like added benefits and stuff like that. So all that stuff is like perfect for writers and everything. It's just like you can tell for a sequel they try to pull all the stops and do everything what they can do for this film to be great, which is good, because the first one was held in high regards, and a lot of people were waiting for that. So there's another thing here. Did you know? I'm sure it's just certain things that you didn't know about your characters, your favorite characters in this film, and stuff like that. Good job, Disney, for like uh, cheating me out of the making ofs, because I see here music videos and then it says and more. So that's pretty much it for them. And this is the steelbook case, so like, if they're gonna add the most features, it would be here. So let's move on. Obviously, I'm not very happy about all that. I like special features, and I don't really show that I get bummed, but I get bummed sometimes that they don't do that, because I think it really is something not only beneficial for filmmakers, but like people that are fans of the movie. Any movie usually will like just feel more part of the film, I guess. It gives them more of the film that they want. So instead of just paying $20-something or whatever for these Blu-rays, you don't just get just a movie, but you get to hang out with your favorite characters type of thing behind the scenes. I love it. Works well with live action type of stuff. And when they do these making ofs, I love the Pixar ones. They always had something interesting behind it. The reason why these movies are even getting good in the sense that they're actually like Wreck-It Ralph and stuff like that is because of John Lasseter. So so just kind of putting that out there, like Disney, like make more special features. I know people would love that, to spend more time with their characters until you make the third one, I guess, or more on the franchise, especially Disney when they want to like really do sequels and do a lot of everything. So this is the steelbook case. That was a paper that is wrapped around the wrapping of the steelbook case, but this is the back end inside of it and the discs of the Blu-ray in Best Buy. Okay, and then we're gonna move on to the one in Target, which is Target always likes to give you a book or something all the time, which is really cool. Like I said about Inside Out and everything. So let me show you that here. So it's a gallery book. So a lot of drawings and everything like that. And you see it looks like they were testing out clothes and colors and what they would do for the character. I mean, they have these models for these characters from the first movie, and they just upgrade them a little bit more. Technology gets a lot better every year, so they probably beef it up a little bit more on the characters and the colors and the resolution and just like the mesh itself. Maybe they redo it again, but I don't think they do that. I'm still learning, even the process of making a 3D model all the way up to like the 3D film itself. So it's very dense, and there's a lot of things there. Just on you can do a lot of like pre-production and all the way to post-production, all the way just everything that is filmmaking is all in one program. It's kind of new to me. So our next one after this is the Target one for Frozen 2. And it's not a steel bookcase. I think it's like a paper type case and everything like that. So either way, it comes with the gallery book, and you can learn a lot from that off of just like their drawings and stuff like I mentioned before. And our next one here, which I usually don't do too often, let's get this up there, is Walmart. So this is the Walmart exclusive for Frozen 2 Ultimate Edition. So let's see, they just kind of have like the covers different. It looks about the same. I'd say either go to Target or Best Buy, get your steelbook case or the Target exclusive. And speaking of Target, I have one more here. I mean, it's not necessary for me to do it, but I'm doing it because this is just part of the release as well for Frozen 2. So you can get a 2-movie collection. So you get the first one and the second one, which is good. I think I'd purchase that if you have children. That's something to purchase if you don't have the first one at all. And if you really enjoyed this film here, this film, phenomenal film. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was just good to see the powers kind of progress and see how she deals with her powers and everything like that. So it was a good sequel. Hopefully the third one does something totally different. This one, usually sequels are like the second movie are usually just kind of like similar to the first one, but it just propels it a little bit more forward with the story, and it just dives in deeper on the characters a little bit more, so that when you get in the third one, we can hopefully change the character, not necessarily change these characters, but propel their life forward into a new meaning of their own life. So I know that's very philosophical of myself, but if you love this movie and you enjoyed learning about the special features of this film, just comment down below and let me know your thoughts. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button because we do things like this every week. So I'll see you, and we'll move on now to the next film. So the next film is Color Out of Space, H.P. Lovecraft's Color Out of Space. So haven't heard too much about this film, about if it was good or not. I did watch the trailer. It was very, 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 very interesting. I am highly interested in checking it out. My wife's a big fan of Nicolas Cage, and so am I. And these movies here, these types of movies that he's been making are like straight to what they would call home video back in the day, straight to home release, I guess, and streaming and stuff like that, and Blu-ray release, straight to DVD type stuff. So, but it's H.P. Lovecraft's, which is a book that I guess, I don't know if this is one of his popular books, but he's a popular writer for sci-fi, science fiction. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you actually saw this movie. I'd love to hear more about it. I liked the trailer a lot, and it got me interested in wanting to check out the movie. I'm wondering if it's about like other worlds or something like that, and including them into ours, like opening a doors or something like that. So and this is, I got to give a shout out actually to another Instagrammer. I kind of jumped around for this episode, trying to get all these back ends. Since it's not like this is all for educational purposes. I'm not trying to steal anybody's anything. I don't own these films, but I give shout outs to the Instagrammer that does post special features like this or the back end of this. Maybe we can start a hashtag, hashtag greenlight features or something like that. Let me know in the comments below if you think that's interesting or not. So let's show this here. So it's Steel, what was it? Steel F, Cine, Phil Lakers, I guess. Sorry, probably butchering your name here, your username here, but I'm sure if you see that, here on YouTube, type it in on Instagram, and you can check out his page. He's got a bunch of, he or she, I believe, has a bunch of stuff on like on Blu-rays and like movie stuff, and cool things. Thank them as well for doing this, because this really truly helps us. And then so zooming in here. So automatically, this is cool. So the making of Color Out of Space. This is a RLGE Films. I guess releasing. This is not like anyone that I'm aware of right now as far as a filmmaking company, but that they put the making of on there is awesome. You know, it's just an added benefit to the people that like the film. I'm wondering if this actually made like good amount of money, which is why they were able to do it. But either way, you know, you should just, I mean, you got to hire somebody to do that and pay them to do all that. So that is, you know, eating into the budget of the film. But you know, shout outs to them for even like including that, because that's really really cool. So I'm expecting it because usually I can judge whether or not, you know, what company made it. I can judge whether or not how long it's gonna be. This could be fairly short, or 30 minutes, 30 40 minutes. You know, if it's an hour long, man, that's awesome. You know, but I don't think it would be that long. I'm sure it'll be short and sweet and to the point. They also have deleted scenes and photo gallery. Photo gallery could be production photos on set, or it just could be a number of things too. You know, testing their clothing with certain lighting. They do photography tests. You know, seeing the person's face with certain clothes and stuff like that, trying to dress them, and then all the way into the production, or even you know, what do they call it? Like press release photos as well, which it's usually what happens is like a press release photo. So let me know if you, in the comments below, if you enjoyed this film and you've seen the special features or not. If you haven't, let me know if you're going to check them out and purchase this film. I'd love to find out how good this is too, so let me know in the comments below how much you like it. All right, and we're going to move on to our next film. A tidbit about this next film, which is Code 8, sci-fi thriller, sci-fi action thriller, I believe. This was originally a short film, and then they were able to raise enough money, I believe, to make this film. I'm not sure to make it into a feature, but I'm not sure what website they used. They could have done GoFundMe or something like that. You know, something equivalent to that. And they're all great for any filmmaker to be able to, you know, benefit from funding so that they can make a better film than they originally had planned, which is great. Any but this requires a whole bunch of work, a lot of pre-production type of stuff that I recommend that you would have to do, and you would also have to plan a campaign on how to, you know, raise the money. Like you're gonna show behind the scenes or give away posters and give away stuff, so you got to plan all that kind of stuff. So great added benefit, something to learn. There's no back end here. I don't have it here. I don't know if there's making of or not, but if there is, let me know in the comments below if you've seen that, and let's talk about it. I'll let you know if I found it later. I mean, I searched around. I really looked for this one as well, and I expected maybe like something small for something like this because of you know, their micro budget type of approach to filmmaking, making the short film first, raising money, and going from there. That's usually a good way to do it too, is make the short film. Some people do like a campaign first, and they don't even make the short film. It's just for the feature. So that's great, just like this one. So moving on here to our next film here. End of the Century. There's no back end for this film. This film is another lower budget type film, festival film. So let me know if you've seen this one, and this has a release date today. So check it out. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this film. I'd love to check it out myself. And if you know that there's any making ofs too in the back of it, I'd love to find out. Let me know, and let's talk about this. Moving on to our next feature film here. This is a foreign film. This next one here is a foreign film. It's called The Climbers. I don't know much about this film except for maybe it's about people hiking up a mountain, and I believe it's a Korean film. It could be Chinese, Japanese, a number of things. So I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. Let me know in the comments below if I am, because I'd love to learn. I like learning new things always. So anything that I get wrong, it's okay. You know, we're human and people make mistakes and stuff like that. So there is a back end here, and I'm very, very pleased about this because we also get the added benefit of a behind the scenes here as well. Since I don't know much about the company itself and their history on making behind the scenes stuff, I'm not sure how long this is going to be exactly, but it's really, really cool that they can even add this. It could be 20 minutes. It could be a lot shorter than this. It could be 10 minutes type of thing, or it could be fairly long. And let me know in the comments below if you have seen this film and you thoroughly enjoyed it. This looks really, really cool, and it looks like they're putting a lot of effort in the film in general. Just off of the trailer and everything, it really popped out on me. So let me know in the comments below if you've seen The Climbers. And we're gonna move on now to the next film. This is another film that I don't have the back end to. This film, Synonyms, is a lower budget film. It could be, I'm not sure if it's a micro budget film or not, but I'm curious if it is or not. And it looks like it could be an overseas type film. But a lot of the critics and look at all of what it's been said, brilliant from the New York Times and stuff like that. That's huge, to have that on your film. And winner Golden Bear, a film festival, okay. And it looks like it takes place, obviously, in Paris because they have the Eiffel Tower there upside down. That's pretty smart, clever way to put it into the title to make it look like a Y. That's pretty cool. So let me know in the comments below if you've seen this film. It's good to see lower budget films and seeing how, they can tell a story with minimal things, minimal just in general, just filmmaking. Sometimes having a microphone and a camera and a couple actors is all you need, to create a story together. So let me know in the comments below if you have seen this film. And we're going to move on to this next one. And this is like a straight to like Blu-ray releasing type movie, Adventure Boyz. This looks to be, I didn't get to see the trailer for this exactly, but it looks to be a Gravitas Ventures releasing, and let me show you the back here. So I can read the back here. Because there's no making of exactly here, but they have a synopsis here. When England's largest castle is robbed by a notorious crime boss, the last thing he and his criminal gang expected to be up against were two boys on BMX and their speedway racing dad. So, this is cool. It just reminds me of those like straight to like VHS releasings when I was growing up for certain movies for kids. Because there's usually not a lot of like kids movies, something that me and my wife are always talking about. It's just not enough of them. So this is, it's like more like that for like younger kids. Like my child is like 3 years old, so my son, he there's not enough things for him to watch, and they take in content and music and everything more, like way more than we do as adults or when we get older. So, but like these kids, I believe, are like 8 to like 12 or something like that. They probably are like 12 years old or something, and these kids usually don't get movies told about them, especially nowadays since everything's about like superheroes and stuff like that and remakes. So my wife's smiling at me. um, we're going to move on to the next film. And let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed Adventure Boyz, if you have seen it, and if you haven't, let me know if you're gonna purchase it anyways or check it out yourself. Let me know in the comments below if I've inspired you to do so. And then it helps us out here if you give a like as well. It lets me know if I'm doing a good job or not. And this next film we're gonna jump into is called After We Leave. I didn't get to see the trailer here, but I loved already with the title. I already know exactly or understand exactly what this is going to be about. It seems like we leave our planet and then there are people left behind. What would you do for a ticket to a better life? Question mark on the bottom. Ooh, so that's already interesting. We do have a back end part of this. So I'm going to show that here. It's also Gravitas Ventures releasing. There's no making of here, but let me show you the back end here. And a gritty sci-fi crime drama about a man who has a once-in-a-lifetime chance to immigrate off Earth. If only he can find his estranged wife and convince her to come with him. I mean, the story sounds really, really interesting, and that's what you want from a movie. Not saying like people in here may not be stars in their own right, but I don't recognize anyone here, at least off the top of my head. I feel like a lot of these faces may be on TV, because they seem fairly familiar, but they're not. They're not really jumping out at me. On the bottom, they where all the credits are, where you see the director and stuff like that, underneath all the specs of the film and the closed caption and stuff, you see the credits of everybody, at least all the major roles, all those actors' names on there, as well as like the writer, director, executive producers, and everybody involved in making the film. So anybody that jumps out at you, let me know. Let me zoom in to the top here. Show you. Because I like a good story. And when you don't have major actors or anything like that in a film, it's a huge benefit to have an interesting story. A really intriguing story. So not that this hasn't been done, once before, but, for a low budget film, it's good to learn, what it is that they do, because sometimes less is more, and you might even learn how to expand your characters or make scenes more interesting without having like big budget effects and stuff like that. Having some water real quick here. Also, if you're on the live chat, go ahead, make yourself known. I will give you a shout out at the end of this video, and we're closing into our end here. So our next film is called, I don't have the back end for this film exactly, and this is a straight to DVD type Blu-ray type movie. It's called Trust No One. I believe it's an action film. It looks like I don't think they shot it in LA or anything like that. Could be like Detroit or something. You Can't Hide from the Truth. And then Douglas Roulard, I believe. Let me know in the comments below if I butchered that. And let's talk about that, because I'd love to find out who this is. And yeah, this is great. Again, another not every film has to be, a big major blockbuster and stuff like that. You got to start somewhere. And nowadays we're seeing more and more, independent releasings like this, like a feature film like my own, and many others out there. So let's see here. So I don't have a back end for this, and I don't know what company this is exactly, but we're gonna move on and go into our next film. My wife's talking on the phone. I don't know if you guys hear that. So the next one here is Ragdoll. I think it's a really good title for this film. Damn, I forget where I've seen this guy. It was a kid's film growing up, and I can't pinpoint it. And when you see this guy, I know everyone's gonna know what I'm talking about, that are part of my generation. I'm 31, so I'm expecting, I'm hoping, some people know who I'm talking about back here. So let's just show this. This looks really cool. It reminds me of like $1 Million Baby type of thing. So it's I believe it's a boxing movie. Yeah. This guy over here on the right, is that Rufio? Now that I zoomed in, let me zoom in to show you what I did here. That's Rufio from Hook. If you ever seen Hook with Steven Spielberg's Hook with Robin Williams as Peter Pan, I believe that was the best Peter Pan renditions other than the Disney one, because that was the best one, and that was it. Like every other live action one, it's just like, I don't know what happened there. They didn't. I don't think they did it for me. So it says Nora is the one who works overtime, helps out her family by all means, and leaves little for herself. She takes out life's hardships at the local mixed martial arts gym. Cool. But what happens when that violence extends outside of the gym? Oh, okay, so it's very interesting. And the whole ragdoll thing with, like with toys and the whole girl world and stuff like that. That's a good title. Like, I really like that title a lot. That really jumped out at me as a really, really beneficial title. And there's not many titles like that, and you're not copying anything, and there's no one with that title. It's genius. There's so many movies that just stealing titles and all this stuff, and it happens. Sometimes it happens where, like a movie like myself, my first feature film was called Creed, and at the time, I had shot it in 2014 and was releasing it in 2015. Well, actually, I released it late 2014 to a film festival who ended up screening it in January 2015 or something like that. So I already had the title for a long time on IMDb before the Rocky film, and for a long time they had quotations around their film saying, like it was basically like number 2 or something like that. So basically it was another one called The Creed, and it was a short film before mine, and then I did Creed. So I was the first one with Creed, and then the Rocky movie ended up coming out and announcing that their film is called Creed. So I guess they kept it under wraps or whatever, and it's none of my business because I was busy trying to make my film, So I mean, it is what it is, and I wasn't trying to benefit off of it, but it happens, Great minds think alike, I believe. So it made me feel some type of way about that I thought of something similar. And it happens a lot. Don't you watch a movie and you're like, I created an idea in my head about writing a book or a comic book or doing a movie or a short film or something that's similar to a film that's getting released. I mean, I feel like we could be all a little more interconnected than we think. So I'm going to put myself back on here, and I'm going to check out it says Adventures of Frank and Tina is back. Very cool. Check out their channel. They're in the live chat. Hello to you as well. And I hope, let me know in the comments below, what kind of film did you enjoy out of all these films that I talked about? And do you like the idea of me shortening and taking the two major ones and making short videos for them? And they're just a quicker way for people that want those two major films. Or, you know, if you want a Nicolas Cage one too, let me know in the comments below, and I will do that as well. And it makes it easier for people to jump right into the film they're really the most interested in. These live chats, I'm going to continue doing these type of things. Makes it simpler and easier for me in the pipeline, since I make my own projects and my own films. I have a music video coming out very soon as well. As well as my new feature film, which is a documentary. Again, you can follow me on Instagram. You can find out all about these projects and independent projects that I'm making on my own, as well as even like eventually, you know, finding out about my Blender tutorials that I'm going to end up doing here. I'm chopping up one live stream, chopping it up, and then putting it out there for you, giving you the information right away so you can learn how to do this for yourself and release your own films and stuff. So thank you again, and I'll see you here next week. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Ooh, yeah, right here, like probably down here. Subscribe button and notification bell so you know about videos like this every week, and as well as filmmaking tips, Blu-ray, Blender tutorials, and hit the like button. You know, that benefits me and lets me know if what I'm doing is exactly benefiting you as a filmmaker. So I'll see you here next week.